Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Dream Daddy. Last we left off, we'd had a minor confrontation with our daughter, as well as setting up the DadBook page, full of answers that are fairly accurate to me, at least within the constraints of the game. But, yeah. Anyway, moving forward, let's see what this DadBook is all about. See? That wasn't so bad. Yeah, that was actually kind of fun. I could totally spend all day in here just looking at people's profiles. You should message one of them, or more than one of them. All of these dads seem pretty interesting. Okay. I promise I'll make some friends. Amanda gives me a hug.
Nah.
Go get him, Dad. You smug-ass little kid.
Welcome. You've got dads.
You've got dads? Really? Fantastic. So this is actually a pretty interesting setup. It took me a little while to kind of understand what was going on here, but let's just take a look at one of the files. So you can look at their DadBook page, and at the very top of it, you can see how many hearts you actually have with them is how many dates you've actually been on with them. And you initiate that by sending them a message. So let's see, with Craig Can, Dad of 3, business entrepreneur and fitness enthusiast. Juggling work, family, and fitness is a tough gig, but someone's gotta do it. On a Friday night, you are most likely to get one last good cardio session in. If you had one thing to take with you onto a desert island, what would it be? A box of energy bars. What are your turn-ons? A sub 6-minute mile. What did you want to be when you grew up? Beer pong world champion? What's your favorite movie genre? Buddy cop movies forever? So, you really like the pairing of two buddies, huh? What's your ideal date? Scaling a huge, dangerous mountain for fun! Great. Would you never leave home without an extra tube of energy gel? I spent a lot of time thinking about it. My mile time used to be so good. What happened? Have I peaked? Oh dear. Matt! Avid music enthusiast, passionate coffee drinker. You can find me most days selling bean juice over at the Coffee Spoon or hanging out at the park with my amazing daughter. Hit me up about 80s no wave music. On a Friday night, you are most likely to perfect my cold brew setup, one drip at a time, baby. If you had one thing to take with you on a desert island, what would it be? Fine tunes to pass the days away. What are your turn-ons? Multi-instrumentalism. What did you want to be when you grew up? A barista, weirdly enough. What's your favorite movie genre? Shit with subtitles. That feels like a really... I love that answer. What's your ideal date? We go to the animal shelter and seriously consider adopting a cat. That is... okay. I like you, Matt. What would you never leave home without? My headphones, both in-ear and over-ear, just in case. I spent a lot of time thinking about where did writing commas into song titles come from and where did it go? Did we all just agree that it's a bad idea? Alright. Hey, I'm Brian. I spend most of my days hanging out with my awesome daughter and think about new ways to grill things. If you like fishing, then we'll get along. On a Friday night, you're most likely to see how slowly I can cook a piece of brisket. If you had one thing to take with you onto a desert island, what would it be? My fishing pole. Oh my. What are your turn-ons? A keen understanding of steak guts. What did you want to be when you grew up? Fireman. So I love that his answers are simplistic and straightforward. What's your favorite movie genre? Romantic comedies. That kind of makes sense. What's your ideal date? Deck building. What do you never leave home without? My portable fishing pole. I spend a lot of time thinking about how my daughter is smarter than I am. Ah. Robert. When the internet gains sentience and decides to destroy us all, you know it'll use this information against us, right? Oh my god, I love him already. On a Friday night, you're most likely to make a deal in an alleyway. Have it go badly. Who's the cop? Was it Giacomo? I trusted Giacomo. If you had one thing to take with you onto a desert island, what would it be? Gun. What are your turn-ons? Don't talk to me. What did you want to be when you grew up? Grifter. What's your favorite movie genre? Italian neo-realism. What's your ideal date? Grave robbing. What do you never leave home without? At least 4 knives. I spent a lot of time thinking about do you ever really look into a rabid animal's eyes? Okay, Robert. Damien Bloodmarch. How do you do? I have finally decided to join this information superhighway. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but I will try my best to understand. I love long strolls through graveyards and spending time with my son. If you would ever like to chat about the latest in Victorian fashion, the inevitability of our own demise, or black cats, please send me a letter. On a Friday night, you're most likely to listen to true crime podcast while I taxidermy my newest specimens. If you had one thing to take with you into a desert island, it would be a coffin. What are your turn-ons? Pronouncing bosom correctly. What did you want to be when you grew up? A bat. Bats are cool, though! What's your favorite movie genre? For an art house horror. That sounds about right. What's your ideal date? It's night. We are in an industrial darkwave club in Berlin. The music drums to the beat of our hearts. What do you never leave home without? An upside-down cross. I spent a lot of time thinking about mortality salience. Right. Anyway. Hugo. Middle school teacher, high school teacher, writer of scholarly articles on 18th century literature for various esteemed publications. If you're out here to tell me that my son put a cherry bomb in your trash, I know, and I'm sorry. On Friday night, you're most likely to brew some strong tea and paint my miniatures. If you had one thing to take with you onto a desert island, what would it be? A remembrance of things past by Marcel Proust. I think that's right, Proust. What are your turn-ons? Muscles. What did you want to be when you grew up? Movie star. What's your favorite movie genre? Documentaries on art history. What's your ideal date? Each of us read a different book on opposite sides of the couch in comfortable silence. All right, Hugo. Why do you never leave home without my glasses? Actually, I forget them at home a lot. I spent a lot of time thinking about... I worry that people who are against e-readers are more in love with the idea of books than actually reading them. Okay. E-readers are vastly important, especially as they continue to bring literature into the new age and introduce it and keep it relevant for a younger generation that is far more comfortable with their technical devices. I will say that there is a very particular experience about holding a book in your hands, about being able to flip through the pages to kind of feel it as this, not just this aesthetic thing, but like the physical sensation of feeling the book as it thrums as you let the pages slip through your fingers. It's its own thing. But I'm not saying that that is the only thing. The important thing is that you read. Read. It is very vitally important that you read. Find what you enjoy and read. And Joseph. Joseph Christensen. Oh boy. Voted Maple Bay's #1 youth minister for 5 years running. Living in my hometown with my beautiful wife and our 4 amazing kids. If I'm not in church, you can catch me out on the open water, setting sail on the seas of adventure. I love playing guitar and crushing my kids at Candyland. On a Friday night, you are most likely to lead the community in a fun mixer. If you had one thing to take with you into a desert island, what would it be? My 6-string. What are your turn-ons? My loving wife. What did you want to be when you grew up? Ship captain. That kind of explains the tattoo, What's your favorite movie genre? Feel-good movies. Yeah. What's your ideal date? Lovely night on the town with my wife. What do you never leave home without? The good book. I spent a lot of time thinking about how I can be a better man, husband, and father. You know, we're supposed to be able to date all of these. At least that is presumably the case, but they are setting up an instance where if you pursue it, it's infidelity. It is lack of loyalty to his wife, and he's clearly trying to show that. I don't know all of the details about his path, but I do know that it's probably not a good idea to try and mess with someone who is already in a married situation. Now, if there's ever a point where the two of them are no longer together and, there's been some space and the situation is not, say, opportunistic, perhaps it is not a bad idea to go and pursue a relationship with that person, but the timing would not be while they are still married to someone. So, out of all of these, I have to say Robert intrigues me, but I'm not sure that he is my #1 choice. Joseph, I wouldn't want to get into a relationship with for the aforementioned reasons. Brian, I do not like being in competition with the person I want to be in a relationship with. Like, there can be such a thing as friendly rivalry, but if someone is constantly one-upping me, I'm probably going to respond more by going like, all right, you want to win? You win. You win everything. Goodbye. So I like these four in particular for the various paths. Hugo reminds me of me at my most scholarly, I suppose. Matt, I have a lot of interest in. Just, I'm curious to, because I love that sort of chill, laid-back appreciation for the art. I've always loved a good friends to more than friends sort of story, and I just love Damien, okay? It's Damien. Okay. So, between the four of these, I'm not sure who I want to necessarily start off with. Alright, well, I think for now I will start with Damien, but I know it's bad that I'm going back with the path that I've already technically finished, but I will try to show off as many of these as I can, or at least as much of these as I can. I will say there's a good chance that I'm not going to be able to get through every possible romance. Honestly, I would recommend playing the game for yourself, but I will at least showcase as much as I can of the dads that I am interested in. All of those disclaimers aside, let's send Damien a message, shall we? Don't let anyone disrespect you. Good advice. Very good advice. Damien seemed really interesting. A little odd, but interesting. I think I should hang out with him to get to know him a little better. I navigate to Damien's DadBook page and type out a message. Hey dude, you seem cool. We should hang out sometime. I sit there for a minute before I see that Damien's typing. But then he keeps typing. And typing. Man, is this guy writing a novel? I leave the computer to make some coffee. And he's still typing. I sip my coffee, and the computer finally dings. Bing! Lore. I must confess my excitement to be receiving your kind letter, for, as you see, I do find myself available to enjoy your company. I must ask your forgiveness, however, as I believe our first meeting did not paint me in the gentlemanly manner as I would have liked. Oh, whoa, there's more. I would be highly flattered to enjoy your companionship at my residence for an afternoon tea and a stroll around my garden, should it please you. Till then, adieu. Yours, humbled, D. Bloodmarch. I stare at the screen and I reread the letter several more times. Hey, Amanda! Amanda pops out of her room. Her eyes are a little puffy, almost as if she'd been crying. Hey, are you alright? Oh,
Fine.
Oh, yeah, totally. I'm cool. I just found out that the succulent I've been watering and singing to for the last 3 months was actually made out of plastic. Even the dirt was fake. Oh, honey. Well, I don't buy that it's about her plant, so I'm going to ask in general. Are you sure that's all you're upset about? Because I'm not going to say you have to tell me. Are you sure that's all you're upset about?
Oh.
If there's, you know, anything going on, I just want you to know that I'm here for you. And I'll always be here for you. Whether you need a shoulder to cry on or a strong dad to go kick someone's butt, I'm only a phone call away. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate that. But I'm fine. Really. I'm unconvinced, but I'll stop badgering her about it. I'm sure she'll tell me when she's ready. And this is an example of communication. She's not exactly ready to talk about it, and honestly, no one should ever feel obligated to talk about, like, if it's something relatively trivial, or just some kind of interpersonal stuff that's kind of bugging you, you shouldn't feel obligated to say anything about it, although I will say that if you trust the person you're talking to, it really doesn't hurt to open up and vent about certain things. But I am really glad that this game gives you the opportunity to show that you care without forcing it. Listen to me and all of the parenting advice in the last couple of episodes. Jesus. Anyway. Can you help me with something?
Aww.
Dad, for the last time, I'm not popping your back pimples. Ugh. No. Can you interpret this for... Is it that hard to understand, Lore? I turn the computer to Amanda, and she squints at Damien's message. I just don't understand NetSpeak. Like, is this how you kids communicate with each other now? I don't think that's NetSpeak. Oh, totally. This is the hot new thing. See, Dad, kids got over saying lol and lamau or whatever and decided that what they needed to do was bring it back to the 1800s. So, what do I do? Where's your pen and quill? What? Did you forget to unpack the pen and quill? Dad, how will we address the nobleman in regards to your upcoming debutante ball? Okay, now I know you're messing with me. Father, without a proper chaperone, you'll never end up with a suitor worthy of our land. Or our dowry. Or... So, you read Pride and Prejudice for school one time, and now you're reciting things you know about it back to me, aren't you? Wow, I read that authentically. I'm a voice actor. Like the first 5 pages, and then I read a review of the movie. Still gotta be, though. Great, so, what do I say to Damien? I got this. Amanda reaches over me and types on the keyboard. Sure thing, dude. Regards,
Yeah.
Lore. Amanda hits send and smiles at me. Well, I suppose that's that. I love, like, the slow retreating Lore. I make the short walk over to Damien's house. Well, I guess you can't really call it a house. It's more of a manor? Estate? The Gothic architecture looms above the other homes in the cul-de-sac. I walk past a couple of gargoyles guarding the front door and look around for a doorbell. There doesn't seem to be one. I pull the large, ornately carved bat's head door knocker back, and a hollow sound echoes through the house as I strike it against the door. I wait several moments before the door slowly creaks open. I dig the aesthetic. It's a little creepy, but I enter the home and take a few steps into the foyer, noting the oil portraits of who I assume are dead relatives hanging on the wall. As I'm admiring them, the front door slams shut behind me. Oh my god, this setup is adorable. I love it. Hello? Silence. An oil lamp in the corner flickers dimly, casting ominous shadows against the wall. Why do I feel like all the people in these paintings are staring straight at me? Why is it so cold in here? Where's Damien? Lore, pleasure to have you in my home. I look up and see Damien standing at the top of a majestic staircase with a walking candle holder. What's with the door slamming shut? Oh, sorry, there was a draft. And the door creaking open when I knocked? I accidentally left the door unlocked. And the creepy oil paintings? I like oil paintings. Right. Right. Please, let me show you around. Okay. Damien leads me around his house, showcasing his parlor, sitting room, auxiliary sitting room, and the parlor again for some reason. I think he's really proud of the parlor. This is one of the older homes on the block, yes, but nowhere near as old as the architecture might suggest. Through extensive renovations, I have been able to craft a residence that is both historically accurate to the Victorian period and equipped with the amenities of any modern dwelling. We walk past a door covered in bumper stickers, caution tape, and a black parade poster. That's probably Lucian's door. Did they listen to My Chemical Romance in the Victorian era? That's my son's room. You know how the rebellious teenage years are. Onward, onward, there's more to see. Onward, onward. There we go. We reach a door at the end of the hall that Damien opens with a flourish, because of course he does. And this is the library. Oh my, are you going to seduce me with your books, Mr. Bloodmarch? Because quite frankly, that's a pretty good way to do it. Sunlight streams in from floor-to-ceiling arched windows. The walls are lined with packed bookshelves, and even more books are scattered over the period-appropriate furniture. Damien is clearly really proud of this room. Let's see. There are a few different options here, but let's see. Let's look at the butterflies. I walk up to the glass display of pinned bugs on the wall. It's pretty impressive. Nice bugs.
Oh.
I pinned them all myself. Maybe I could show you how sometime. I'm concerned I would stick the pin right through my finger. Ah, the pinner's gambit. Is that a thing? No. Alright, well, let's try picking up a book. You know, Lore, in the Victorian era there was some controversy surrounding reading. Many people thought the more tawdry novels would encourage youths into a life of crime and would cause too much of a distraction from work and school. I pull out a book at random and examine the worn cover. Opening it, I turn to a random page and read aloud. Oh my god. Naruto struggled against the chains that Sasuke had bound him with. Shirtless and out of breath, he looked up at Sasuke. Sasuke smirked, unbuttoning his ninja pants. Okay! I think that's enough! Yes, Naruto... The thing is that is Naruto fanfiction, which either he has personally written into these books, or he printed out the pages from a fanfic and personally bound them into a book. I'm not sure which is more extra. Damien snaps the book shut and puts it back onto the shelf. That's a rare book from my private collection. Let's look out the window. I walk to the window and am greeted by a beautiful view of Damien's backyard. It showcases a beautiful view of the rest of the cul-de-sac. Hey, I can see Craig on his lawn. He's doing push-ups, with his daughters on his back. Damn. He sees me and waves happily, doing push-ups with one hand now. Damn! I was about to say that! Did you know that Victorians spent at least 20 hours a week gazing longingly out of full-length windows? Wait, really? No, but Victorians did appreciate telling a good joke. Please, will you join me for tea? I think that works, and that's a pretty good stopping point for today. But I hope to see you guys next time as we continue on this little tour of Damien's home. Yeah, hope to see you then.